Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, gonna be a brave noob world featuring MrImperfect and shadowpathmh, bottom right. Gonna be a red Terran. It is MrImperfect. There's a MrImperfect who shows up in my Twitch streams at twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin every Friday and shows up to the podcast every Tuesday. So if this is you, MrImperfect, enjoy. Bottom left, we got ourselves a Blue Zerg player, Shadowpath MH. Oh yeah, Shadowpath. Alright, what do we got here on Blackburn? This is a bit of an older replay, but it was sent to Snipermonkey at the email address in the description. If you want me to cast your Brave Noob World, I don't think we got any submissions over the last 2 weeks. So get them in. Send them to Snipermonkey. Make sure they're bronze or silver, right? And in the subject, put Brave Noob World, like it is in the subject and the title of this video. And then you, too, can get your game cast by Falcon. How fun is that? Awesome, I would say. Quite fun indeed. Now, 2 racks opening here for MrImperfect. Okay. He's got a gas. He's not upgrading his command center to an orbital. So that's a problem, but he knows what reactors are, so that's fantastic. And the Overlord Scout here from Shadowpath is pretty good. He recognizes the threat of a Marine popping out soon, decides to back out. He sees the 2 racks and says, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and sit here on 2 bases. Don't mind me. Not going to take a third. No, sir. Good scouting, honestly, from Shadowpath. Although if he determines that he should take a 3rd base in a 1 base from his enemy, like a 1 base strategy from his enemy, he deserves to die. But he's not. He's doing all right here. He's going for a Baneling Nest. Love that. He's like, okay, if my opponent's just going to walk a bunch of Marines over. Oh, it's Reapers, is it? That changes things a bit. So this Reaper, his name is Captain Pickard. Captain John Lurch Pickard was raised on grapes in a grape soda vineyard in New Jersey. He washed out of Starfleet Academy, so to redeem his reputation, he joined the Reaper program. Let's see how that works out. So he and his buddies, he and his Starfleet buddies are here. Yeah, so it's going to be a 1 base, basically a 3-rack Reaper, but we reactored one of them. How interesting. Interesting start, I'd say. So Reaper's doing some work here. We did recently see a game where Bjorn opened up with like a 3-rack Reaper thing against a laser. That was pretty effective. So this is still viable. If you're like, man, who opens Reapers these days? You know, Bjorn does. You gonna tell Bjorn what's up? I didn't think so. This is really actually a pretty decent Reaper micro. Look at this. He's gonna lose one of his Reapers, maybe? Oh, the juke! Oh, and the Lings accidentally attacked their own... They attacked their own hatchery by accident. I've done that before. 1 Reaper goes down, another Reaper goes down. Okay, this is where it starts to fall apart for Reapers a little bit. Another one dies, and another one dies, and another one dies. Another one bites the dust. All right. So that was really good for MrImperfect until it wasn't. He ends up losing 5 Reapers to that battle. I don't think he got enough damage done. 12 Lings for... Nope. He was doing great. He's going to lose another one getting pinned. Oh, okay. Well, so all the Reapers die and accomplish very little. Unfortunately, MrImperfect, friend, Roman, countryman, lend me your ears. So, Shadowpath takes a 3rd base, says, I'm up 26 to 24 workers. I have an army that can handle Reapers just fine. Thanks for asking. Oh, he gets in the slow zone first, so he has to slow down. Brutal. Brutality. And then it's a couple factories. Couple factories on the follow here. Still no 2nd base for MrImperfect, which is definitely concerning. He's ready to repair against the incoming Ling attacks because he can't do anything other than repair right now. He does not have... There you go. A couple Marines pop out, and he's going to hold this off. So maybe over-making Lings a little bit here is Shadowpath. So we'll see. We'll see if Shadowpath did that more. Really? You're just going to send more Reapers out to try to get stuff done? So still no drones have... I say no drones have died, and then a drone dies. This should not be working as well as it is. All the Lings are on the other side of the map. They're not here to defend the homeland. Gotta keep some Okay, so now, my gosh. Yep. So that is 13 Reapers dead in exchange for a drone and 15 Zerglings. Wait, did they get a... Oh, yeah, and an Overlord died too. Thanks to the Marines. Okay, so this is a problem for Mr. Imperfect. He's got all these SCVs up here preparing to repair if necessary, but they don't need to. There's Marines now. Well, there's not a lot of Marines. There could be more, but also we're going one base. What is going on here? This is... All right, Mr. Imperfect. I know this is from a while ago, and maybe you're a lot better now, but number 1, upgrade your command center to an orbital. Number 2, get a second base. Look up lotv.spawningtool.com. That's a Legacy of the Void at spawningtool, T as in Tom, tool.com. Go to build orders, look up TVZ build orders. There's a whole section for that. And then you can easily get a second base out against a Zerg player, even if they make a bunch of Lings early. Okay? All right. Because this whole one, you cannot support 2 racks and 2 factories and 2 starports on one base. I mean, technically this should be this is a reactor starport right here, these 2 together. So if you're just planning on making 2, reactor a starport, and then that way you have the production of 2 without having to make a whole nother starport. It's cheaper. It's the whole point of reactors. You know that. You have a reactor to barracks here. You can do that for factories and starports too. It's nice. But yeah, being on one base for this long is just not going to be good for you. This is not a great attack. First of all, to break down a supply depot... Oh, there's 2 tanks out too. You need 5 Banelings, okay? And right now you have 2, and you're making 2 more. So, yeah, you can greatly weaken these supply depots. Oh my gosh. Or, you could just lose them entirely to the tank fire on the high ground. Yeah, that's the thing. Baneling busts need to happen before tanks are... Oh my... No. Nope. Nope. Shadowpath, to his credit, does not finish coming up this ramp and lose everything he has. I'll give him credit for that. Also, he's been macroing fairly well. He's got 44 workers. Mr. Imperfect is only on one base and he's oversaturated, so hey, that's a win. The income is heavily favoring the Zerg. But if the Zerg player insists on continuing to try to come up this ramp with, you know, roaches and banelings and stuff, he's just going to lose the game. So he's like, okay, does the Terran player have another base somewhere that I'm not aware of? No, he does not, but guess what he's doing? He's dropping in your base. And here they are. And this queen is not enough to stop them. Not even close. So some Zerglings come in. What are the upgrades looking like? +1 attack is done for Mr. Imperfect. And no armor or attack upgrades for Lings or Roaches, which isn't actually great. Medevac's going to heal through a ton of the damage here. Transfuse is trying to do the same thing. Not quite the same thing, though. And, how many times, Zerg players, have you died to this? Where... Oh, never mind. The surround is there. The surround is real, and he wipes it out. So, yeah. How many times have you been like, wow, I'm macroing so well. I'm droning up super hard, right? I've got 2-3 bases. I'm feeling good. And then Terran drops 2 medevacs worth of Marines right here. And you're like, oh... When you've got Lings, but they don't have any upgrades yet, and it's just like, the Marines have Stim and Combat Shield. I guess I lose, because you can't kill them all. It's pretty horrific. Yeah, but what you really want in that situation is Carapace. If you're playing against a Terran who's obviously going for Marines and stuff, getting the Carapace upgrade first is nice. But if you don't have any Evolution Chambers yet, don't worry about that, because you can't get upgrades anyway. Mr. Imperfect is going to take... All right. This is some creative stuff here. Mr. Imperfect is going to wander down and take this 6 o'clock base, which, on this map, when it comes down to it, and this map gets split in half, we've seen plenty of games on the channel where that has happened. This is a very sought-after base, as is this one. The Zerg player really needs both of these on a map against a Protoss or a Terran to beat them. So a lot of huge battles happen here. But see, you got debris you have to clear to even get up here at all. And Shadowpath doesn't have a Spire. He doesn't have any Dropper Lords, but you could make some. Oh, the Overlord scouts it, though. Did he just... He knows. He knows it's here. Oh, he's upgrading this to an orbital. Is he upgrading his... Oh, and he upgraded his main to an orbital, too. Glory be. You can also probably take your natural. Just wall off. Put the tanks here. Wall off. And you're just as safe here as you are here right now. Shadowpath has got his hive at 10 minutes, which is honestly kind of insanely fast for this level of StarCraft. Like, it's a little bit nuts for him. Shadowpath also taking a 4th base at the gold, which is amazing. He kind of stopped making workers, it looks like. He's floating about 4,500 minerals, so maybe that's why. He's like, I don't need more economy. I need to make stuff. So he's getting upgrades. He's getting +1 attack for melee, +1 attack for missile. And he's going for, is that Guil Reconstitution? That's Hydralisk speed. Okay. That's muscular augments. I like Roach Hydraling. Little Baneling stuff in here, too. It's got speed. Dude, if MrImperfect loses this base, he might just be done. That might just be all that we wrote today. So we knocked down the debris pretty easily. Hydra DPS is insanely good. And this Liberator can't even save them because the Liberator, there's Hydras here. Okay, so MrImperfect is like, crap. That Overlord Scout was clutch, though. Liberator sets up. Orbital's going to get down into the burning, but it should be get saved. Oh, it doesn't get into the burning. I thought it would. Okay, well, look. No. Just stay here. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Stay here. It's 95 to 74 supply at the moment. Shadowpath still refuses to make any more drones. He's been sitting here at 38 workers for like the last 5 minutes, it feels like. I mean, at least send some drones to the gold base so you benefit from that. But sitting here on a ton of cash, at this point, just make Ultras. Throw down an Ultralisk Cavern, continue with the upgrades, and just make some Ultralisks, and you'll do fine against this, although the tank count's a little bit scary. MrImperfect decides that Falcon is right. I'm going to set up my tanks on the natural base and land my command center here, and everything will be fine and dandy. And it was. Do not walk into a million siege tanks. Roach Hydraling is good. Not against a million siege tanks. And by that, I mean more than like 3. And this is 6. Yeah, don't. You know there's tanks. Don't do it. He's not doing it. Okay. Shadowpath not doing it. You know what would be also amazing here? Mass Mutalisk as a Spire's on the way. The anti-air consists of 28 Marines, which is actually a lot. And they've got 1-1, but do they not have Stim? Oh, they don't have Stim or Combat Shield yet. I thought they would have gotten it by now. So pro tip for MrImperfect is get Stim and Combat Shield. Done. Also, pro tip for Shadowpath, make drones. Like, for the love of all that is holy, you're killing me. You basically got 3 gases and 38 workers and said, that's enough. That's all I'll ever need. You're getting Adrenal, which I support with all of my heart. You know that. It's getting +2 missile attack. It's getting a Lurker Den, which I've talked many times on this channel about how Lurkers are 800 times better at the lower levels than they are at the higher levels. And they're really good at the higher levels, too. We see Zerg players use them all of the time. So, yeah, if you are a Zerg player, make some Lurkers. No matter what your matchup is. No matter who you're playing. And just walk them over near the enemy and burrow them. And you'll have some good results. Oh, we're making drones. 12 drones at a time. And he's saturating his gold base too. Shadowpath. MrImperfect is in an immense amount of trouble. This could be one of those games with the Zerg players immensely ahead, but then they attack into 17 siege tanks and lose everything and then lose the game. I've done that before. I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything, but yeah, that's how you lose games. So Greater Spire coming up down here for him for Shadowpath. 8 Mutalisks at a time on the way. Hasn't made any more production because you're doing fine. MrImperfect is spending his money pretty well. 1,600 minerals and 400 gas isn't the greatest thing, but it's cool. Yeah, this is the other thing. When your refineries mine out, your SCVs go idle. So you want to watch out for that. There you go. And just put them to work as soon as you notice. That's no problem. No problem. Broodlords would be insanely good here, though, because you know what tanks don't do well with? Broodlords. They do well with a lot of things. A lot of things. But anything that can fly, they struggle immensely. And Marines struggle against Broodlords, too. If you sit back here and launch your Broodlings at them, right? And then the tanks hit the Broodlings and splash all over the Marines, and the Marines are like, roar, roar. That's how they sound when they die. They're like Chewbacca, kind of. They're very Wookiee-like. Anywho, we're just kind of sitting back, aren't we? Yeah. More Banelings would be nice, though. Like, if you're not going Broodlords and you're not going Lurkers, you need some Banelings. You need something to handle these Marines. And the honest answer here is Ling, Hydra, Roach is not the answer to those Marines. Even, I guess, if you have incredible upgrades, which he kind of does. He's got +1 attack. So 1-1 for the Lings with Adrenal is awesome. I worry about these mutas, though. Ooh, here he comes. MrImperfect says, I'm not going to let the Zerg player hang out anymore. He must die. It's 94 to 81 total army supply here. Shadowpath, I don't know. He doesn't have any Banelings, and I worry about this. He also doesn't have any Broodlords, which I worry about, too. But for MrImperfect, taking a base while you're attacking, I know I say it every week, but it's true. When you're attacking someone, expand behind it, because they're so worried about you being right here that they're not going to send anything over here to kill your attempt at expanding. It's not going to happen. It never does. Adaptive Talons is on the way for MrImperfect, so he's getting an Ultralisk Cavern. So he's getting the tech for Broodlords, amazing, Ultras, amazing, and Lurkers, amazing. He doesn't have any of those right now. Oh, look who's building a third command center. Go, MrImperfect, go. Take that base. And here comes Shadowpath. I don't know about this. Oh, he made some Banelings, though. That's good. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Like I said, he didn't have... Okay, he had some Banelings. He had 3 Banelings. And some of them actually connected. But not enough Banelings, and the tanks wiped everything out, and there's enough Marines to wipe out the Mutalisks. Burrow the Lurkers. Burrow your Lurker. Okay. Uh-oh. Ah! Okay, good scan. Good scan. Tanks getting wiped out, but Lurkers also very much dying. Whew, they killed like 3 or 4 of those tanks, but, dude, army value is 55 to 26. I really should have seen what the army value difference was after that battle, because that was brutal. Utterly brutal. Dude, if these Marines had Stim and combat shield... Ling's cruising in, you know, with their 1-1 and their adrenal and whatnot, and they do kill both of the tanks. And they could chew on these Marines a little bit, which is nice, but man, these dudes. 2 kills, 5 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills, 3 kills, 2 kills, 3 kills. I mean, these guys are putting in some work today. 5 kills on that boy. They take down the natural base. Shadowpath has 7,400 minerals and 1,200 gas right now. And because he hasn't been injecting, and he's only got 6 larvae, he has to use drones to make this fight. Now, MrImperfect has been making Marines. I guess he's got some Marines up here at the third base of Shadowpath as well. No Banelings to deal with this, but again, no Stim and no combat shield on these Marines. So these 1-1 Lings are kind of incredible units here. Yeah, and these tanks... Oh, Banelings, don't use Banelings. Okay, well, we killed 1 tank, but exchanged for like 8 Banelings. Not good trades. These Liberators are like, we can hit air stuff, and the answer is yes. You can hit air stuff, but it's not incredibly effective, you'll notice here. Hey, you got one. Alright, well, Corruptor's killing stuff. The tanks just wander in and try to siege up this third base of Shadowpaths. I think Shadowpath is probably going to win this game, but it is ugly. I like it. I like it for the Brave New World aspect of ugly. He gets the hatch. Dude, MrImperfect. So Corruptor... Oh, this is... Oh, I see the plan. I see the plan here. You kill the Medivacs with the Corruptors. You kill the Liberators with the Corruptors. And then you wander over... Oh, it's a lot of Marines coming out, though. And you turn them into Broodlords. And then you just make the Terran player hate their lives, because they don't have really any answer to Broodlords at all. Yeah. First, here they are. In fact, there's 1 and 2. And MrImperfect is like, well... Nothing's come out of the woodwork to murder us here. Man, Shadowpath has another base up that way. He's only got 28 workers, though, which is not ideal. And he's replacing his natural, which is cool. He's not replacing his third because he can't. And this is MrImperfect just being like, well, this is it's a 2-2 Marine with no Stim and no combat shield. Like, this is Brave New World in a nutshell, man. Who needs it? Who needs Stim? Who needs combat shield when you're in bronze and silver? Not this guy. So he's really gas starved is the problem here. So they can't make many Broodlords, and like 2 Broodlords is... It's fine. Oh, this Ultralisk though. Does he have upgrades? Oh, what's the path thing? What was that? Okay. Well, the Ultras are bouncing around like idiots. Oh, I think he told them to attack the tank, so they walked through all of these Marines. Oh, boy. This is scrappy. This is some scraptastic stuff, man. Look at this micro. Look at this Broodlord micro Shadowpath is tossing out. This is some hot stuff. So this shouldn't be working, but it's working. Yeah, I mean, this is some effective Broodlord stuff. That's a 10 kill Brood. These two are both 15 and 10 kill Broodlords, man. I mean, they do inherit some kills from when they were Corruptors, so they might have like a couple Medevac kills in there too, but dang, that is some effective Broodlord stuff. If there were like 12 of these, I think you could just win the game outright. The problem is you don't have enough gas for that. You have all the minerals in the world, and there you go. You're taking an extra extractor, saturating this one that you already have, which is fantastic. Getting these drones off of these expired extractors and like putting them up here would be amazing. Look at MrImperfect. He's got his third base rolling. Took him a minute to get there, but he's, you know, he's throwing down some mules. He's upgrading to an orbital. He's not planetary fortressing it, which is good for economy reasons anyway. He's spending his money a lot better than Shadowpath is. So Shadowpath plan seems to be, well, these Broodlords are super hyper effective. He's not wrong about that. I don't know why he's making more Corruptors though. Oh. Corruptors been... How did 6 Corruptors die? I guess 2 more got made into Broodlords, but... I don't know, man. Guess who still doesn't have Stim or Combat Shield, but he's got mech upgrades. Oh, the Broodlords, our plans! All of our plans are dead. These Ultras don't have chitinous plating, but my gosh, they're getting some work done anyway. Army values 57 to 6. Shadowpath is going to die with 4,800 minerals in the bank. Oh, we've all been there. Who hasn't been there before? Oh, this is incredible. Just Marines, man. That's all you gotta make. You can handle a couple Ultras with low upgrades, right? I mean, those were +1/+1 no chitinous plating. So, I mean, there is not as weak as Ultralisk to get, but pretty close. On the weaker side for sure. Trying to make some Banelings here. No, say the Marines, they shot that down. Drone counts down to 16 for Shadowpath. MrImperfect at 36. GG! And MrImperfect is your winner! Woof! That was Brave New World for sure. That was a lot of fun. So way to go, MrImperfect. Getting that win, starting off with a crazy build. The Reaper stuff was awesome right up until the moment that it wasn't, which is okay. I think that's true for a lot of strategies. Some strategies are consistently awesome right up until the second that they're not. And you know what? That even happens to people like Maru, so don't worry about it as much. Anyway. But Shadowpath, man, he just needed to spend his money. He did so well. He got 3 bases up. He got a 4th base, and he just stopped making drones. Even if it's just getting gas. If he's just getting gas, then all he needs there is, I mean, Banelings would have worked. Like a Ling Baneling Muta kind of thing would have been amazing, right? So you roll in the Lings to absorb some early tank shots. You bring the Banelings in to make the Marines afraid. You probably kill them because they're not being microed all that well. And once they're dead, the Mutas can come in and clear up all of those tanks, no problem. But yeah, just not enough Banelings, not enough in general. If Lurkers are part of that play, that would have been amazing. And that's the thing, he had some Lurkers being made up here. I think if he'd maybe waited for the Lurkers to finish and then just kind of A-moved everything into it and brought the Lurkers in behind and then burrowed them, that could have been an amazing battle for him. But it didn't really work out that way, and sometimes, you know, StarCraft doesn't go the way that you want it to. MrImperfect, I just... Woof, some effective use of Marines here today. 85 Marines died. There's 15 left. It's 24,000 resources lost for Shadow and only 10,000 for MrImperfect. Incredible. And Shadowpath just needs to pick a tech path, let's be honest. 17 Mutas, 2 Broodlords, 13 Roaches, 6 Banelings, 12 Corruptors, 5 Ultras, 4 Lurkers. That's just, and 4 Hiders. That's just not what a professional units lost tab looks like under any circumstances at all. Either you go Ling Bling Muta, or you go Ling Bling Corruptor, or you go Ultras and Lings and Banelings, or you go Hydras and Lings and Banelings, or you go Roaches and Ravagers and Lings and Banelings, or you go Hydras and Lings and Banelings and Lurkers, right? We're just not putting a whole smorgasbord together here. Shadowpath struggled with that. MrImperfect knew Marine Tank, really good combination. Dating back to 1998 when Terran was invented by the StarCraft 1, Marine Tank was very good, and it continues to be very good to this day. So yeah, do the classics. You're not going to regret it. So good. Well done, MrImperfect, and that's going to be it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Brave Noob World. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.